shared adversity builds camaraderie. That's something we say in the Marine Corps all the time. And so, and it's what it did for us too, is there's that shared adversity. There's that shared, I know this is that 20 miler. Oh my gosh, here's how bad it was or whatever, and that just builds a stronger relationship little by little by little. And there's nothing better in the world.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Together through their strife.
Welcome back to Through Their Stride, a Texas-born podcast sharing the stories from runners up here at home and far beyond. I'm your host, Sam Sutton, and today I'm joined by Faith Husmann and her father, Cody Stewart. Cody is a Marine Corps veteran and a veteran runner who shared the inspiration and motivation for running with his daughter, Faith. Faith took up running in college and ran her first marathon in 2020 at Austin and ran her first sub-4 marathon at the Rock and Roll San Antonio Marathon in 2024. But this story is about something a lot deeper than that. She and her father, Cody, ran the Marine Corps Marathon in 2025 together, and it was something that they will cherish forever. It was miles of memories, miles of fun, and miles of emotions, especially for Cody, who himself is a Marine Corps veteran. This was such a fun podcast to record, a great conversation. They were very open about their experiences as father-daughter and as runners, and I'm so glad to share this with you guys. If you like this podcast, please give it a review on either Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to your podcast, and follow or subscribe. And if you would like to watch the video version of this podcast, please go to my YouTube channel, Sam Runs TX. Every single episode is posted there as videos. Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so welcome to another episode of Through Their Stride. And I'm joined with my first father-daughter duo, Faith Husmann and Cody Stewart. So thank you guys for coming on.
Hi, thank you, Sam.
And so I thought it was super cool. So you guys just a few months ago ran the Marine Corps Marathon together. And Cody, you are a U.S. Marine veteran, is that correct? And how?
Yes, yeah, I'm a retired Marine. I did 26 years, and so Faith kind of did most of those years as well, and yeah, we after 26 years, I just we decided to retire and then kind of move on to retired life. That's why I get to have a beard now.
There you go. One of the perks of retirement.
Yes.
So for you guys, was this kind of a goal for the both of y'all for a while? And sounds like you guys have both been runners for a long time. So how did this all come about? And yeah, how did y'all come to the Marine Corps Marathon?
Faith, do you want to go or do you want me to answer that?
I think I've been getting more into running marathons in the past couple years, and I ran my first sub-4 marathon in 2024, I think. And so I was like itching to do the next marathon and seeing what was out there. I tried to do those lottery world major marathons, but didn't get into any of those. So I was like, okay, what's another one that is like big and exciting? And that came up, the Marine Corps Marathon. So many people have said that that's a really, really fun marathon that you should definitely do, and it should be on your bucket list. And I was like, I do know a Marine in my life. Maybe he'll run it with me. So I think I just was looking for it. I decided to do it, and I was like, all right, Dad, what do you think? And my dad has not ran. How long had it been before that, Dad?
2012 was my last time to run a marathon, and that was a 50K. And so I've been running. I'll always be a runner because I'm a Marine and just kind of born to run thing. But it was definitely tough. I was like, okay, well, it's on my bucket list too. So as a Marine, I've always wanted to run the Marine Corps Marathon, and every year I just haven't been able to make that work where I was there at that time or whatever. So Yeah. And when Faith said, "Hey, let's run it," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, check that off the list. Let's go do it."
Wait, yep.
Yeah, for you, Cody, when Faith asked you that, what did that mean to you as a Marine? And for your daughter, who obviously you said kind of went through it with you when you were a Marine, what did it mean to you when she asked that question?
Oh, it was great. I was I was like, "There's no way that I'm not doing this." So
Kind of forced your hand a little bit.
yeah, proud. It was a proud dad moment, though, and Faith has always been, uh, you know, just been able to persevere through all kinds of stuff in her life, and just running is one of those things, especially a marathon. It's one of those things that just it makes you step outside of your comfort zone, and makes you stay outside of your comfort zone because you got to train too. And there's all those mornings where you wake up and it's raining outside or it's cold and you're just like, I don't feel like it today. I'm hurting. But you got to find your inner Goggins, get out there and just do it.
Yes.
And so Faith, kind of grew up with that around the Marine Corps, just we're constantly moving, going to a different city. She has to change schools. She has to change all of her friends, or not change them, but make new friends, leave old friends. And it's just stepping outside that comfort zone was, I think, easier for Faith because of her life has been outside the comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Being in a Marine family, it's definitely must come with a lot of hardships, but with a lot of good moments as well, it sounds like. And Faith, for you, your dad said, hardships probably make you a better runner. So tell me a little bit about your running story, and would you agree with your dad's sentiment there?
Yeah. I definitely was inspired to run by my dad for sure. He was awesome. Before I ever ran a half marathon, or the first thing I did was a half marathon. I didn't even start with a 5K or 10K.
Nice.
I was like, all right, I'm doing a half marathon. But I had watched my dad do some marathons, especially that 50K that he was talking about, like Calico. Is that what it's called? That Calico?
Yeah, it was Calico. Yeah.
That was awesome to watch him do that. And he's definitely my biggest inspiration with just even if it's so hard and you're just struggling and dying, the brain and the human spirit is so strong and you can get through it. And just that challenging aspect, that was really motivating for me to do something like my dad did. Or he's done so much more than races. He's, gone to war and done all kinds of things. So the racing is just the most minimal part of it. But it was just really cool to see him get through something so hard and challenging like that. I just really remember that 50K and just how hard that was for him. So yeah, I have always struggled with shin splints, just chronic shin splints. And so I tried to run throughout growing up, but then in college I was I really got determined to have that be something that I want to do. And I tried everything I could to get around the shin splints, and I started wearing compression socks, and it was all of a sudden something happened to where I was able to run and I could run. I remember texting my dad one day that I ran 3 miles without feeling pain. And he was like, "Oh, awesome. 3 miles. Good for you." So from that start, I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And so I did my first half marathon when I was in college. I was I was, I think, a sophomore in college.
Okay.
And I did the half marathon and I got a pretty good time. I remember my dad being there for that run, and he was texting me during it and was like, "Oh my gosh, if you keep up with this, you can do a sub 2 2-hour half marathon. And I was like, okay. And I was just having fun. I was going fast. It felt good. It was so fun to be around people that were also running, like, and enjoyed running with me. Cause I was never in cross country or like around other runners really. So it just felt really good and fun and exciting. So that was my first half marathon that I did. And I did pretty well. I did like a 1:52, I think. So, then I did some half marathons in college, and, life gets in the way, and you kind of, you train for one, but then you get so caught up. I was in nursing school and all kinds of stuff. So I didn't end up running my first marathon until I had just started nursing, like being an actual registered nurse. And I decided to train for one, but I did it in like 2 months. And I don't know. I just decided to do the Austin Marathon. And when I decided that, it was like December and that was 2 months away. So I was like, I'm doing it. And I can do really well with getting focused and dedicated for like spurts of time. So training for marathons is perfect for me. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm like the most consistent everyday runner, like every single day throughout all the years. But if I have a race, I will get it done. Yeah. So I did that first Austin Marathon. That was in 2020. And then COVID happened and all this stuff. So my journey has definitely ebbed and flowed. But then I got my heart set on that marathon in 2024. And that was another one where I was just trying to do my first marathon back after a couple years of not running super consistently. And I just had the best time and did a sub-4 marathon. Yeah. So I wasn't like, I trained and I worked hard to train to do that marathon, but I didn't like have the goal in mind. And then I just did it, and it was awesome, and it felt so good and so empowering. So I would say I do better with races and go faster and have better times when I'm just having fun and I'm just trying to go as fast as I can, and I'm vibing with the music and the people and the crowds and the excitement of it all. And I do worse if I like have super specific goals in mind. I just don't know. I just get too in my head, and then I don't do as well. Sorry, dog. No. But so then then the next one was the Marine Corps Marathon. So I've done 3 marathons now, and I'm definitely looking to do more. But right now I'm kind of just taking a little break from training, from everything. But yeah, that's my long-winded story.
Yeah. And
my dad has definitely been like the biggest inspiration for my whole running journey, for sure.
Yeah. And Cody, to see her get that sub-4 marathon in 2024 as a runner yourself and as someone who's done hard things your whole life, was that a proud dad moment for you?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Just knowing that that all the hard work that she'd put into it, and just being able to follow her and to watch her and to kind of live vicariously through her when she was doing that was awesome. Proud dad moment. And even that first half marathon, because 2 hours, that's kind of, that's a pretty good time for just a regular runner like us. Yeah. And I think she came in well below 2 hours. So on that first half marathon, and then I know 4 hours. 4 hours is usually the goal for everybody, for every like weekend runner hack person. Yeah. So definitely watching her do that was a big deal, because I know it's like such a small percentage of people in this country that have ran a marathon, and it's it's cool to have my daughter in that elite group.
Yeah. It's my dad was texting me the whole way through my sub-4 this past year, and afterwards we were talking to each other, and he was like, I was like sitting in my office, like picturing myself like in your body, like trying to move your legs to get that sub 4 marathon. And he was like, and somebody would come up to my office and like knock on my door, and I'd be like, go away. So I'm loving my son here. But
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
yeah,
Love it.
the parent, the parent influence is always there, and to have them cheering you on is such a great feeling. Yeah, but
Yeah, and it's a different experience when you're running with the person, and then when you're just kind of supporting the person that's running. So, like for instance, when Faith ran her the Austin Marathon, I think it was the Austin one. I was there, and I was driving to try to find like spots where I could park, where I could see her, and so I had this bag of Oreo cookies. And so I was waiting. I was like trying to find a spot where I could get to her so I could give her the cookies. So I ended up actually finally linking up with her, and I ran next to her and gave her the cookies while.
I love that.
Yes. I actually decided for that like 2 months that I trained for my first marathon, I decided to vlog the whole thing because I was super into YouTube and all that. So I vlogged the training, and then I vlogged running, which is way more common nowadays to do TikToks and all that stuff while you're running. But I remember it being like something that I'd never seen before, but I like filmed myself running and stuff. And then I have a video footage of my dad meeting me at mile 18, and he was like, "Oh, Faith, you're doing so good. You only have 6 miles left." I remember being like, "Dad, I have 8 miles left." But I'm really glad that I ended up videoing that whole thing because it's just cute little moments like that. Like I have a video of him running next to me when I was at the end and struggling, and yeah, it was really fun. It was good.
So cool.
I'm glad you came to watch me because that was definitely like a cool moment to have my dad, like ultra marathoner, be there to support my first run. So
I love that. And let's get.
If I'll ever do a 50K though, after every marathon, I'm like, I don't know how I could go anymore. I know we could, and Dad, you did, but holy moly, like 26 is like, I mean, my toenails are still black, like because I mean, my shoes were too small, but like it's hard on your body, and going that extra, like, it's like 32 miles.
Yeah, it's like 31 point something for 50K. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Dad, I don't know how. And you did that in like the mountains, like up.
No, yeah. So I did Calico twice, and then San Juan Trail, which is in Cleveland National Forest in California. I did that one, and that one was brutal. So that to get to
50K.
Yeah, it was a 50K also. And just to give you an idea, when I ran that San Juan Trail, the elevation was so much that I think I finished in like 7.5 hours, that 50K, so that's how long it took. And there was a few times where I didn't see anyone for like an hour. And I was like, am I lost? I don't know if I'm on the right trail. And so there's just a really cool experience. But there was a guy that ran it with me. And just to kind of give you an idea of the age of runners. So I was in my 30s at that time. And so I was in that 30 to 35 age group or whatever it was. And so I finished in 7.5 hours. And I think I was like, number 10 or something like that. And then the guy that I was running with was a young Marine, and he was in his early 20s. And he finished in 8.5 hours. So he finished an hour after me, but he got second place in his group.
Oh man.
So yeah, just a crazy story about it. But yeah, 50Ks are definitely, they're a lot of fun, and just because they're different, because they're usually trail runs. And so there's just kind of a different dynamic there. There's, the people that are at the little tables. First of all, you don't have a table with water every mile. you have a table with water probably every 5 miles. But at that table is peanut butter sandwiches and cookies and brownies and beer even sometimes and soda, like whatever you can do to get sugar into your body at that moment is what you do at that table. And it's just really kind of, it's just a different experience. But back to marathons. It's absolutely a great feeling whenever you're done with that marathon. Oh my goodness. And I share the same sentiment as Faith. Afterwards, every time I'm like, okay, I think that's my last one. I don't do this anymore. And then about 2 weeks later, you're back on the boat.
What races are out there? What's races coming up? Let's just look.
Yeah. It was funny. After my first marathon, it was Austin in 2023. And after the race, I was telling everybody, like, I'm never running a marathon again. Like, I'm a half marathon guy. That was terrible.
This isn't my thing.
Yeah, this isn't my thing. And then like a week later, it was like every day the cogs were spinning, and I was like, well, maybe it was just only that bad because it was hot and it was hilly and I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first one, so I was like, after a week had gone by, I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it again. So this year I'm gonna do it again.
It's crazy too how different, like, I don't know, the course matters so much, and then how you're feeling that day matters so much, and the weather, like all of these different factors can make marathons really, really terrible or so awesome. Like for the San Antonio one, that was pretty flat, amazing weather, very cold.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was flying the whole time. Like I there wasn't even really that many times where I was like, this is terrible. I don't know if I'll finish.
Yeah.
But then for the Austin one, which Sam, that was awful. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. It was hot in 2020 as well. And huge hills. I felt I did not want to do one ever again for that one. So it's just weird how different each marathon can feel.
Yeah. And you were sick during the San Antonio Marathon, right?
Yes.
I remember you woke up with some sort of bronchitis or something.
Yes. Well, I got sick at Thanksgiving, and this was like December 7th or something like that. So it was like the week after Thanksgiving. So I was like, not like fever, not on my deathbed, but I was coughing all night before. So I got no sleep. So I don't know how I did that. Pure adrenaline and just grit, I guess, because I shouldn't have been able to do that. I remember telling Jared, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this. And then as I was going, it's like the cold helped everything. And the weather, like if it was hot, I would have been struggling a lot. But all of the things aligned for that marathon. And I got barely by 9 seconds, I got that sub 4. So that was awesome.
Hey, and that reminds me of, so my first marathon. So Faith, you got sub 4 by 9 seconds. That was your second one, right?
Yes.
The first one. That was your second one.
Yeah.
So for me, when I ran my first one, I had never run anything more than a half marathon, and I just did that. Someone invited me. But when I ran the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon, this was in probably 2003, 4, maybe somewhere around there. So it was a long time ago, but I only had a week's notice. So basically they were giving Marines on the base, they were giving us, we're at Camp Pendleton, free entry, and we're like, somebody said, hey, you want to run the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon? I'm like, how far is that? I'm like, oh, man. So I did it though. And when I ran it, my goal, because, I did my research and figured out that 4 hours would be good especially for a Marine that, runs all the time. So I finished that marathon in 4 hours, 1 minute, 30 seconds. So I was, but that's what hooked me. Because I was like, oh, that can't be, I have to be able to beat this.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about the marathon and where at what point, I shouldn't have took water at that one because I had to slow down. It was too crowded, whatever it was. I started thinking about that and I started plotting my next one where I said, and I was able to, and the next one, I was able to beat the 4 hours. And then I gradually got better and better and better to my best time, which was, I think, Faith, we looked it up, 320.
Was it 3:30? Was it under 3:30 or?
It was like 329 something, I think. Yeah. And so, that one, but that one was like in 2009 or 10 or somewhere around there. So
isn't that crazy how that's so fast, but that's still not even close to Boston Marathon?
I know, totally.
Like, so
I would have to. Oh, go ahead.
No, just like the people that qualify have been like chilling for 30 minutes at the finish line while you're finishing at 3:30. Like, that's
it's crazy.
I can't even.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it is. It's just those guys are so fast that run those, that qualify for Boston, or people that I guess they take it a little more seriously than we do. I mean, you have to take the marathon seriously, but people that run 3 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes, that's next level right there.
I would say I definitely run for fun more. Like I enjoy it more. If I'm super like doing a hard training regimen, I lose that sense of wanting to keep going towards the goal. I would love to like get it down more and more and more, but I think right now in life I'm just like it's just fun to run them. So it was cool to get sub 4, but it's just it's for fun.
Yeah, for sure. And then I want to jump into now to the Marine Corps Marathon. So what was that weekend like for you guys? And did y'all kind of run it together, or were y'all kind of on the course kind of at separate times, or how did the whole day play out?
We did. Let me just take part of that. So Faith is a lot faster than me.
And they not lives.
Well, I was like, man, I want to run it with her and be with her the whole time. That'd be nice, but that means she's gonna have to slow way down.
Yeah.
And I don't want her experience to be different because of Dad. The ball and chain Dad, dragging her down. So basically, what we decided was, Faith's husband Jared was going to be at mile 6, and we kind of knew that he would be at mile 6. So we ran together for the first 6 miles, which means that I ran a little bit faster than I should have been, and Faith ran a lot slower than she should have been. And then, but after mile 6, we got that picture with Jared, and he made signs for us. It was really cool. Great to have him support us. Yeah. And then after that, I just said, "Okay, Faith, I'll see you later. I'll see you at the finish." And she took off.
I think I told you this, Dad, but there was like an out and back for after 6 at some point, and then I don't know. So we were like passing by runners, and I saw you. Did I tell you that I saw you? I saw you wait by, but you were easier. I didn't see you. But it was really enjoyable to like. Okay, so all my other races I've done alone. Yeah. And for whatever reason, I just don't have that many people in my life that are like friends that run also.
Yeah.
So I've done everything alone. And this was like the first race that I actually had someone there and someone to go. We woke up at, I don't even know what time, like 3 or 4 a.m. It was freezing cold waiting for the shuttle. We were on the shuttle together. We got to the porta potties, waited for the porta potties together. We were able to talk and hold things for each other and like calm each other down and just like talk about how excited we were and take pictures. I had never had that before. It was so much more enjoyable to spend the pre-race time with your dad, like someone that you love. And it was that was awesome. So I definitely would say that's like one of my or that's like my favorite marathon so far, just from that. And I think all that I was planning on running it separate from my dad like the whole time, just because our paces are pretty different. Like I'm at least like I don't know 9 minute and my dad was like he was like I don't know if I can go faster than like an 11, and I was like oh my gosh dad like that that. But we met in the middle for that first 6 miles, and it was like a nice easy 10, and we were laughing and taking pictures and videos and like just talking to each other, and it was so fun. Like if I could have done the whole thing, like because he was going faster than his target pace and I was going a little slower, but if we could have both been like a 10-minute and just done the whole thing together, I think that would have been so fun. Like that would have been really perfect. So I'm glad we had that 6 miles. That was really the highlight of everything. After that, it was pretty boring and like pretty not boring. It was fun. Like it was cool. You got to see the Capitol, or like all the monuments and everything, like lots of really cool things to see throughout the race, and lots of good spectators, and like it was a fun race, but definitely just not as enjoyable without my dad. Like the rest of the time I was like listening to music and trying to zone in, but it just didn't feel as good without him there. So it was really, really fun.
Yeah.
Same here. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, whenever she took off at 6, I was like, oh, man, yeah, I got to get in the zone. You know, I got to do this myself now. I got to remember how to do that. So same thing though. That first 6 miles was awesome, and it would be great. And I think what needs to happen is Dad needs to improve his time.
Which you're
in that way, he could stay up with his daughter, and maybe on the next time we'll do that.
Yes. Yeah, I think also it was like it was really fun. I'm glad we did the Marine Corps Marathon, but it was a kind of a stressful weekend. Like there was a lot going on with flights at that time. Like everything was delayed on the way back. Like we had, I don't even know how long of a delay it was. It was like a 10-hour delay or something getting back. So the whole like weekend flying and the hotels and everything was kind of a lot. So I think our next marathon should probably be something local we could do together. I would like that. I think that was both our one of our things that was hard about the weekend was just like it was just a lot traveling to do the race. But
yeah, it was a lot. And then also the Marine Corps Marathon, there was correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, you may know this, I think there was 40,000 people there. Was that right? It's like 40,000 people. So, like every other marathon I've ran, it was usually at most maybe 13, 14,000. And that was a lot. Yeah. So with 40,000 people and you're on streets, that are, the same as any streets anywhere and through DC. And so you're elbow to elbow pretty much the whole time with people. And so, you don't have any little stretches where you can kind of stretch out and do something else or kind of get your pace, or you're constantly weaving in and out of people or whatever. So that was tough. And so I think, now that I know what that's like, I think I could be better prepared for it next time. But yeah, I think when we run another one, it'll be local. So you don't have the travel. You don't have the bad food on the airplane and all of that stuff beforehand. Is one of the things that I've learned now. When I was in my 20s, I didn't have to change my diet. I could just eat whatever I was eating and run and no problem. Now, oh my gosh, fuel is such a huge factor. And just eating right and which I don't do very well. And but just it's very, very difficult. Now I'm using fuels. Faith introduced me to the gels. I'd never used those before.
Yeah, that was shocking. Sam, you take gels like throughout your training and the marathon, right?
I do, but my first marathon, I had no clue about like gels or hydration or anything. Like we would go on our, so I did it with a friend of mine, and we would go on our long runs together, and he would bring bottles of water like on a waistband like belt, you know.
Yep.
And at first I was like, I don't need any of that. But then like once we got up to like 11 to miles on, and I'd be like, hey man, can I bum some water?
Yeah.
And then we still didn't bring anything on the actual race day. And like I was just trying to hit the little aid stations, and I kept getting like cups with noon electrolytes and no water, never any actual like water. And I felt so bloated and like awful at like mile 15. And from then on out, I've been using gels, and I wear a water vest so I can have my own hydration. So like one is water, and then one is water with some electrolytes that I like. And yeah,
That is crazy how
it's a
Dad, it's been so long since you've ran that like the last time you ran you were young and didn't need any like any stuff, and then now you're, you know, older and you've never heard of gels before. That's just so crazy.
Well, I you know, and you know, to be fair, to be honest, I did know what gels were, but I
Yes.
just never used them. I had no
like,
need
"I don't
for
need
them. They were just a hassle. Where was I going to put them? You know, what if? So yeah, one of my marathons, one of the San Diego marathons I ran, I, you know, of course, didn't have any gels or anything like that, but a friend of mine was he was about probably a quarter mile behind me, and he was, you know, just running, and we were listening to music, whatever it was, and there was this guy standing on the side of the street, and he looked like a homeless person. He was dressed kind of like a homeless person, right? And he had a cup, and in this cup was a bunch of pretzel sticks that were sticking out. You could see what he had in the cup, and he was just standing there holding it out for anybody. And so my friend, he said he saw the guy, and then he's like, oh man, there's no way I'm taking anything from that guy. Then he said right away he saw me cut across and grab
I love that.
He's like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I definitely. So that was my fuel for that marathon was
Just a
was
couple
pretzels
from a homeless man. Nice.
My my mom was a big marathoner in the 90s and early 2000s, and you know that was kind of her sport of choice back then. And her fuel was Mountain Dew. So yeah, she would text dad, or like, you know, tell dad at the beginning of the race, like, meet me at these points on the course and throw me a bottle of Mountain Dew because that's what I'm gonna need.
Well, you better have that dew.
Yeah. So the fueling has changed so much, like even in recent years, like we know a whole lot more now. So that's
Yes.
super interesting.
I didn't realize I do my knowledge has grown too, and I you know, like shot blocks, how there's like, I don't know, there's like 6 gels in there. I remember reading the package for my first marathon, which was in 2020, a while ago, and I read the package and it said like take one. I don't know. Whatever way I read it, it was like I was taking one little block every hour.
Woo.
And then when I learned like you're supposed to take a serving, which is 2 every like 20 minutes or
Yes.
30 minutes. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like it was like an epiphany of I've been eating nothing. Like I might as well have eaten nothing with how little that actually was.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to actually like it's so much that your body needs.
Yeah.
All the grams of sugar or carbs or whatever, like it's actually a lot.
Yeah.
And you have to I learned that you have to train your stomach, like because I was always like, I don't want to eat, like I'm running, I would throw up, but you have to like slowly train your stomach to take in that food while you're exercising. So it's been a lot of learning recently, and it's been good to learn all the things.
My coach has me doing, I think, like try to like aiming for like 80 to 100 grams of carbs per hour. And so
Yes,
I try to
that's
do it like a gel every 3 miles because it's about like, well, yeah, it's about 30 grams of carbs per gel. And so
Yes.
that's seriously, that probably evens out to around 60 something per hour. But I also have a little bit of carbs in my electrolyte drink that boosts it a little bit. So yeah, it's a weird science that you have to get down. I tried, because like you said, like you have to train your stomach. Yeah, I was trying to stick with a gel back in like 2024 in the Dallas Marathon that I was like hoping would work, but it did make my stomach hurt. And so I was like, well, if I take one every 5 miles, it should be okay. And I bonked so hard at like mile 17 because I just didn't have enough in me, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You really have to like work on that. That's like homework for the marathon is actually doing the gels during training runs, which is just like something I never thought that I would be doing, but it is a thing that you have to like, to work on.
Homework.
See, but yeah, and another thing too is, just talking about training and kind of prepping yourself, music. So when you're running, if you're running a trail run, usually they don't allow music. They don't allow you to have headphones because it's kind of dangerous because you're out there on the trails and you need to be able to hear someone coming up on you and everything else.
Yeah.
So, but I'll get back to that in a second. But what I did, and I remember telling Faith about this on her first marathon, is I set up a playlist of 3 fast songs. So it would be Metallica, my music, Metallica, Def Leppard, all these. And so 3 of them really fast, and then a slow song like Total Eclipse of the Heart or something like that. So what you do is that actually paces you. That keeps you really running strong for that 3 songs, which is usually 10, maybe 12 minutes. Then it gives you about a 3-minute slow down, refocus, and then you kick it back up again. And so I had a whole playlist for a whole marathon that was just that: 3 fast, 1 slow, 3 fast, 1 slow.
It's actually pretty good. Yeah. You told me about that, but I haven't actually tried that very like regimented play.
That got me through, a lot of times in my younger years. But then when I would run the trail runs, then you have to rely on something else. So what I kind of did then was I would focus on my left and right, left foot, left foot, right foot. I would just focus on that. And there's something therapeutic about that when you're doing it, especially when you're doing it for all of a sudden an hour has gone by and you don't even know what happened to that hour because you're just focused on that left and right. Something about left brain, right brain connecting and all of that stuff that rhythm really is therapeutic and it'll get you through it too. So
it's good stuff.
Yeah, just have some like the moral of that is you got to have something that you can focus on and something that's going to be rhythmic. Like if you get out of rhythm in your brain somehow, it can be tough to get back into it. Like
for sure.
I have like a specific half marathon podcast and a specific playlist and a specific marathon playlist. Cause like for a half, I want it all fast and all like electric because I'm trying to go fast. But for a marathon, it's a few fast songs and then one kind of more mellow. And then it's definitely like that. And there were a couple of times I just tried to listen to some like Spotify curated radio or something. And then like some song will come on and you're just like, what's this? Like, I don't know. Thank you.
Yeah. I have to have my own songs.
And then in the old days, you couldn't fast forward it, or when you had you remember those old iPods that were like, they would connect to your hat. They were really small. Yeah. And they had like a little circle on it. And I never figured out how to like fast forward through songs.
Yeah.
So if I didn't want to listen to a song, I wanted to move, I just had to power through it, So, now you just say, hey, Siri or something, and it gets, you can change songs. But
I'll say this though, a pro about those, and I miss this, is like having the little square would be so key today. If you could have like all the technology in it, like of today where you can skip it and somehow be able to have your own music like that. But it would be so easy to carry in a race, other than your phone, which feels like this big,
So
like
heavy.
honking thing,
Oh,
you
it's a
know?
brick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
So, so this is going to be kind of a tradition. It sounds like a father-daughter tradition that you guys are going to kind of carry on for marathons. So, what's the future hold for you guys as runners together?
Well,
Oh,
we haven't signed up for anything just yet. We've talked about it. It's only been, I guess, what, 2 months since the marathon. So
yeah.
I think we're still in kind of recovery mode. But yeah, we'll probably sign up for something. Maybe even some shorter runs. Some half marathons or something. Just that experience, especially if we could run a half marathon together the whole way.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So.
I think we could do that. Yeah. I think I do like half marathons. Like, I don't know. Like I did the Austin half marathon a couple months after the San Antonio marathon last year, and it was awesome. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going pretty fast, and I was like, "Oh, shoot, I'm almost done." Like at mile 10. Like, it's just such a different feeling than the marathon. Like the marathon is just, "Oh my gosh, like when is this?"
It's like
The
you
half
get to,
marathon is like a breeze. It just flies by.
yeah.
So I would love to do a half marathon. I'm currently, so my husband does not run at all. He ran with me like one time 2 years ago. So I'm trying to get him to do a 5K, or he mentioned a 10K. I don't know why he went, he like skipped it. Like he didn't even do the 5K, but one of those I'm going to try to get him to do within the next year. So we could all do like a 5K together. I think that would be really fun. And that's like, I don't think I've actually done like a 5K and like tried really hard. We did one race together. We did the Chuck Norris 5K
Yeah, that's right.
in College Station. I don't know what year that was, but we got to high five Chuck Norris at the end of it.
Cool.
So that was awesome. But that's like the only 5K that I remember ever doing in my life. Like maybe some in college, like some easy ones. But I would like to actually like try to do a fast 5K.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm switching up my like goals here in the next like year or so. Like maybe I'll try to do a 5K with my dad, or a half marathon with my dad, or with my husband. So I don't see myself doing another marathon for probably like I might take the year off of a marathon, just because that last one really, I don't know, my toes are not looking good. Like they need some recovery time.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think we'll do a lot more racing together, like of other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also, if we're signed up for something like we did this time, it there's that accountability that comes with it too.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like running, but Faith is running, so I have to go do my run. Like when we did our long runs, our just training runs, we weren't able to do them together.
Yeah.
So what we would do though is Faith would say, "Okay, hey, I'm doing my 18 miler on this day," and then I would say, "Okay, well, I'm doing mine on this day." So we knew where the other one was the whole time on our long runs. So that's that accountability. I may not have, back when I was running when I was younger, I never did like a 20-mile training run.
Yeah.
I was just, I was doing, maybe 12, 13 miles on a training run, but I didn't go any further than that. So, but now I knew, I was like, Faith is gonna, I'm not gonna, say, "Hey, Faith, I chickened out. I didn't see the dollar," So there's that accountability that's there, and it's really important. Whenever you have a partner that you're training with and running with.
Yeah. And you don't actually have to be like running every run together. You can just kind of be on the same wavelength of general training. So that was,
yeah, and it builds back to kind of the father-daughter relationship. It shared adversity builds camaraderie. That's something we say in the Marine Corps all the time. And so that's what it's what it did for us too. Is there's that shared adversity, there's that shared, I know this is that 20 miler. Oh my gosh, here's how bad it was, or whatever, and that just builds a stronger relationship, little by little by little.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better in the world than that.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's
Yeah.
a good point, Dad.
That's awesome. And yeah, I definitely agree. When I did my first marathon, me and my friend Brent trained for it the whole way. And there were a lot of times where like we'd be suffer festing like through a 20 miler or 18 miler, and but we became really, really good friends through that. And like
Yes,
he was
absolutely.
he was going through some rough stuff and like a divorce and everything. And like for him, finishing that race was so big, and he was like crying at mile 13, just like, feeling all the emotions. And like we had like this big hug at the end of it, and I was like, I feel like we're lifelong friends just because of this race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, is crying, is that unusual? Because I cry every single marathon. Always have. And the cry is because I'm so deep into thought.
Yeah.
And it, there's just things that you see, like for instance, on the Marine Corps Marathon, I cried when we did it was called the Memorial Blue Mile. And so it was a mile stretch of every step was a picture of a fallen soldier or Marine or airman or what. There was just the whole way. There's so many of them. And so, and that was, I think, at mile 12 or 13. And, just going through that was so awesome. And I saw people I know, Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Shea. I was in Fallujah with him. When I was there when he died, and to run up, and I was watching for just people I may know, and sure enough, there he was.
Oh, man.
And so it was really cool to go through those emotions while you're going through emotions anyway because of that deep thought, but especially something like that was just really, really moving. And I cry every time. So anybody out there that's watching this, if you're thinking about, your emotional state while you're running, it's normal.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it's normal.
I think that is part of the reason why I love it, is like I am a very emotional person, and I feel very alive when I'm feeling deep emotions, even if it's like sadness. Like I love sad movies. I just love like putting myself through hard things sometimes just to feel. And that's part of like what makes marathons so awesome, is just that like that struggle and then the emotions that you feel. Like I don't know. I guess not everyone loves that, because I know not everyone loves sad movies, but it's that same feeling of just like enjoying the deep emotion that you feel. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's really good. I also cry, I think, every single one.
Yeah, same here. There's a moment in every marathon where I'm like, just feeling feeling the training, the accomplishment. And, one of the reasons I run is for my mom, and she was a big marathoner. And so and she's battling cancer now. So I'm running in her footsteps, and, doing it to kind of keep her legacy going. And every time a marathon's going well, I'm like, oh man, this is like, I'm like giving back to her, you know what I mean? So
yes. Oh, absolutely. Oh.
Yeah. Well, cool. This was so great. I gotta run, but this has been probably one of my favorite interviews that I've ever done. So thank you both for coming on. This was super special.
Yes. No, this was awesome. I'm really glad that you had the idea to bring us both together. That was perfect.
Actually, you have to credit Monica for that, because I was at first originally thinking just you for your sub 4, and then she was like, didn't she just run the Marine Corps with her father, who is a Marine? And I was like, oh yeah. And so that's kind of how I was like, thank you for telling me that. I totally didn't even think about it. So this was all her idea, and I'm so glad she had this.
Hey, Monica, she's awesome. Yeah, I was definitely feeling nervous when you asked me. Just I've never done a podcast, but having my dad here, like, also, I don't know. Yeah, it's the same feeling as the marathon. Like, just having my dad there is just great. Someone that you love to do something that you've never done before with you. So it's been good to have my dad here.
Yeah, it's my first one too, first podcast. So yeah, same here. It's great to have Faith here. Thank you, Sam, for bringing us along.
Yes,
Yeah.
thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy to be y'all's first podcast. This is amazing. All right. Well, y'all have a great rest of your day, and thank y'all so much.
Thanks, Sam.
Hey, what can we one thing? I want to show you the medal.
Ooh.
So this is the Marine Corps Marathon medal. Just absolutely beautiful. I've got a bunch of these from different marathons, and this blows them all away. It is so awesome. And you open it up, and it's got the part on the inside. It's the 50th Marine Corps Marathon.
Wow.
So anyway, from what I've heard, they always have really good medals at that marathon. So they sure hit the mark on this one. So.
That's
Yes, they did.
incredible. Y'all got to frame that.
I have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I still put it on and wear it every now and then.
Love that. Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much. And yeah, I got to run that just to get me one of those for sure.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, see you later. Bye.
And that was my episode with Faith Husmann and Cody Stewart. This was so fun. Like I said, so fun to get to talk to them. They were very down to earth, very authentic. And I just love when guests are very open about their stories, very passionate about what they do. It makes my job a lot easier, and it just makes for great stories. And I'm always so happy to share great stories with you guys. And yeah, thank y'all so much for listening. Please share this podcast with a friend if you enjoyed it, and remember, and just keep listening. And I will see y'all on the next one.